Today we discussed about electroanalytical techniques. Electroanalytical techniques include a group of the instrumental techniques like potentiometry, voltammetry, connectometry, colorimetry, electrogravimetry. All of those techniques there is the interaction of the electricity with matter, and in all the above mentioned techniques we measure the electrochemical properties like potential, current, charge, etc. with the help of the different instruments like potentiometer, pH meter, conductometer, voltmeter, etc. The use of the electrical measurement for the analytical purpose has found large range for the application, including analytical, environmental monitoring, industrial quality control, and biomedical analysis. Why electroanalytical chemistry? Why we need electroanalytical chemistry? And electroanalytical chemistry have a certain advantages over the other analytical methods. Electroanalytical analysis allows for the determination of the different oxidation state of an element in a solution, not just a total concentration of the molecules. Okay, electroanalytical analysis allows us the determination of the different oxidation state of an element in a solutions. It not just not just tell about the total concentration of the elements. Is a technique that not tell about the total concentration of the element in the solutions. It also tells us about the oxidation state of an element. Electroanalytical techniques are capable of producing the exponentially low detection limits and abundance of the detection informations, including chemical kinetics information. The other important advantage is its low cost. Okay, electroanalytical techniques are capable of producing an exponentially low detection limits. It means electroanalytical technique is helpful for producing the low detection limits and abundance characterization of the informations, including the chemical kinetics. Its major advantages of the electroanalytical techniques is low cost. Here we discussed about the instrumentations used in electroanalytical techniques and electrochemical cells. Electrochemical cells, oxidation and reduction or redox reaction takes place in electrochemical cells. Here we discussed about the electrochemical cells in which oxidation and reductions are combinedly. We say that the redox reactions that takes place in electrochemical cells. There are two types of the electrochemical cells. Spontaneous reactions occur in galvanic cells or voltaic cells, and the non-spontaneous reactions occur in electrolytic cells. Okay, there are two types of the electrochemical cells. The spontaneous reactions, for which we provide the external source, our energy, our battery, to proceed the reactions. It is called the spontaneous reactions, and non-spontaneous reactions, it is proceed automatically. Both types of the cells contains electrodes where the oxidation and induction reaction occurs. Both types of the cells contain electrodes where the oxidation. These both types, electrolytic and galvanic cells. In galvanic cells, spontaneous reaction occurs, and in electrolytic cells, non-spontaneous reaction occurs. These both types of the electrochemical cells, they contain electrodes over which the oxidation and reduction reactions occur. Oxidation occurs at the electrode terms as the anode, and the reduction occurs at the electrode called the cathode. Okay, here we discussed about the types of the cells which are used in electrolytic cells and galvanic cells. They contain the electrodes where the oxidation and reduction reaction occur. Okay, the oxidations occur at which electrode is called the anode, and it have the negative charge, and the reduction reactions occur at the electrode is called the cathode. It have the positive charge, electrode and the charge. The interface through which the electricity is exchanged with the electrolyte solution is called the electrode. That interface through which the electricity is exchanged with the electrolyte solutions is called electrode. There are the two types of the electrode, anode and the cathode. Okay, both types of the electrodes contains, they are the two types of the electrodes, anode and cathode. Anode have the negative charge and cathode have the positive charge. The anode of an electrolytic cell is positive. Okay, the anode, there are the different setup of anode and cathode in electrolytic and galvanic cells. Okay, the anode of the electrolytic cells, here we discussed the anode of an electrolytic cell is positive. anode of the electrolytic cell is positive, so oxidation occur at the anode, and the cathode is negative here, and the cathode here the reduction occur. But in galvanic cells, and since the anode attracts anions from the solutions, however, the anode of the galvanic cells, in galvanic cells, the anode is negatively charged. Okay, but in electrolytic cell, anode is positively charged. It means oxidation process occur on the anode, positively charged, and cathode is negatively charged. Since the anode of the galvanic cells is negatively charged, okay, the anode of the electrolytic cell is negative, and the anode of the galvanic cell is anode of an electrolytic cell is positively charged, and the anode of galvanic cell is negatively charged. But the cathode of the electrolytic cell is positively charged. But in galvanic cells, the cathode is negatively charged. Galvanic cell anode is negatively charged and the cathode is positively charged, but electrolytic cell anode is positively charged and cathode is negatively charged. Since the spontaneous oxidation occurs at the anode, is the surface of the cells, electrons are negatively charged. The cathode of a galvanic cell is its positively terminal. In both galvanic and electrolytic cell, oxidation takes place. Both types of the galvanic and electrolytic cells, the oxidation takes place at the anode and reduction at the cathode.